little challenge, you know?
I like that. Do you guys golf? Golfers?
Not well.
Yeah, I would also be swearing.
Same. I'm at the point where it's like if 3 people who are friends of mine are going
Scramble.
and they're gonna have a couple beers, I'll go. But
same.
it's like 5 hours. Maybe just because the way I play. It's a big commitment.
No, it's a commitment.
Hit me for 9, but 18, we're gonna get through it. A lot of clouds today, guys. As you know, a little mist out there too. That wasn't showing up on the radar, so that was. I hate to admit when something surprises the weatherman about the weather, but I stepped outside at lunch today and it was misting, and I didn't expect that. It's because you can't see that kind of stuff on the radar. It's usually too low and the droplets are too small. And so it doesn't show up even if there is mist hitting the ground along the coastline. You can see a couple of showers that are hitting the ground into Augusta and into New Hampshire as well. Temperature-wise, what is there to say? I mean, it's mid-August. We struggled to get out of the 60s today, right? Wasn't great. Upper 60s, we got to 70 in a couple of spots, but very much below average temperature-wise. And the only thing that kept it from feeling more fall-like was that the dew points are kind of high. They're in the low to mid 60s, and so that gives a little bit more of a summer spin to our low temperatures. These dew points also kept low-level moisture around, which is part of the reason we saw some of that mist and why we saw those clouds really hanging tough. As it's very close to the temperature, you get that saturation. It's very easy to keep clouds around. That'll be the case tonight. A couple of showers and storms being depicted here over down East Maine by this particular computer model. But otherwise, it's a quiet night. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s. And the story tomorrow is it's a pretty active weather day. We've got one round of storms coming through kind of mid to late morning over southern Maine, a second one through the middle of the day, and potentially a third round. The models disagree a little bit on if there's too much dry air in here to fire off a third round, but there'll definitely be at least 2 rounds of storms, some of which could be strong to severe with the threat of some straight line winds. This is tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. You can see that second line or third line tries to develop towards New Hampshire, coming out into Cornish and Sebago. So we'll have to keep an eye on all of this. And as is usually the case with these conditional risks, the more sun we see, the better chance we have of severe weather through the second half of the day. Storm Prediction Center has put us in a level 1 risk, but as I remind you, we almost never get here. So 1 and 2 is where we live at in northern New England for risks. And there's a non-zero risk of a tornado too. There's a little bit of spin in the atmosphere to be aware of. So we get all this out of here in time for the weekend. Saturday, as I've talked about, is breezy and a little bit cooler. Sunday looks good, as does Monday. And next week, looks like we kind of thread the needle between a couple of storms and we're able to stay dry. But our temperatures are, they're fine, mid 70s. Actually, pretty popular temperatures, probably. Comfy dew points, too. Some of those overnights will be in the 40s away from the coastline Tuesday, Wednesday because of those lower dew points. But if you like it a little bit warmer, I'd say Sunday and Monday are your days. But it's shaping up to be a decent stretch next week, and we're just barely pulling it off because there's a storm to our north, a storm to our south. So stay with us through midweek, but it looks like it's going to be a decent week.
I'm kind of owed one by this point.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We've had like 2 this would be the second, that I remember being dry almost the whole week. Yeah.
All right, Keith, we'll bang for it. Yeah.